Coming off of 3 straight wins, the Kettleers look to further their division lead in 2 7-inning doubleheader games versus Yarmouth-Dennis today. They got off to a hot start in the first, with Aubrey Major popping up a ball into shallow left center field, and he would go into second standing up and score Cam Hill. However, YD would rally in the bottom of the inning, as the Kettleers so often have done themselves. YD quickly loaded the bases on 3 straight singles, scored their first on a fielder's choice to second, got another runner home with their 4th single of the inning, and got yet a 3rd run home on a double by Eric Tolman on a play where Cotuit did manage to get the potential 4th run out at the plate with a great cutoff throw by second baseman Nick Gonzalez. After taking a 3-1 lead after the first inning, the Red Sox were able to stifle the Kettleers' bats for a good long while, in the meantime keeping theirs hot. Austin Wells walloped a solo shot over the left center wall in the 3rd to extend YD's lead to 4-1. Cotuit did get a run back in the 3rd after an errant throw from YD's shortstop with runners on allowed one of them to trot home. YD didn't let the Kettleers' offense go unanswered, however, as in the bottom of the 4th, Austin Wells stepped back up to the plate with 2 runners on and crushed a shot towards some fans sitting behind the shallow right field wall for a 3-run home run, putting an exclamation point on a 7-2 YD lead. Cotuit was unable to answer during the 5th through 7th innings, as YD put on a display of power hitting while stymieing any hint of a rally to take the first game 7-2. After a quick lunch break, Cotuit looked to change their fortunes in Game 2. The immediate rematch between the teams got off to a slower start until the bottom of the 2nd, when YD emulated their 5-hit first inning from the prior game and whacked 3 singles to score their first run of the game. Cotuit's only option was to respond to YD's big bats with even bigger ones, and they did so by starting off the 3rd with a solo bomb to right field by Dante Williams. And although the Kettleers have had their fair share of homers already this season, one thing they hadn't done is go back-to-back. Until now, that is, after Adam Oviedo followed Dante's round trip with one of his own as he puts a ball over the fence to center, giving Cotuit a 2-1 lead. But Cotuit's homers would mark only the first of multiple lead changes during the 2nd game, because Austin Wells came to the plate in the 3rd and torched a 2-run homer to center. If that name sounds familiar, it's because that was Wells' 3rd home run of the day. Parker Chavers, however, didn't want to be left off the long list of home run hitters, so he kept the homers coming for Cotuit, hitting his 1st of the season and Cotuit's 3rd of the ball game to even it up at 3-3. While Cotuit kept their bats hot, one thing they could not do well in both games was shut down Yarmouth-Dennis' bats, as the Red Sox managed another multi-hit, multi-run inning off of Kettleers reliever Joey Walsh, going up 7-3 with their rally. Adam Oviedo tried to get something started for the Kettleers in the 5th, with yet another home run, his 2nd of the day and the 4th for the Kettleers in Game 2. But Oviedo's long ball would be it for the inning, and after Kettleers closer Richard Brereton pitched a clutch 6th inning, getting all 3 batters he faced to strike out swinging, the Kettleers found themselves down 7-4 in the top of the 7th, with their backs against the wall, in desperate need of a rally to try to pull a win out of this road trip. After 2 walks got runners on, but with 2 outs, Nick Gonzalez stepped up to the plate and smacked a single that allowed Dante Williams to score from second. Then Matthew Mervis, who had arrived just that same day from Duke, stepped up and hit a bloop single that dropped into right to score Adam Oviedo. And it would be Parker Chavers, who hit an earlier homer, that would deliver a double that would score both Gonzalez and Mervis and would mark the summit of Cotuit's mountainous comeback attempt. A pass ball followed to extend Cotuit's lead to 9-7. The Kettleers just needed 3 more outs, but Brereton found himself in a bases-loaded situation with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Needing just 1 more out, Brereton threw a wild pitch in the dirt, allowing the runner on third to score and making it 9-8 Cotuit. Facing Jeffrey Costello, Brereton got him to ground one to second baseman Nick Gonzalez, but Gonzalez bobbled the ball, allowing another YD runner to score and tie the game at 9 apiece. Brereton would get the last out, and the umps would decide that it was too dark to play on any further, so the game was called with the final score being a 9-9 tie. And Coach Roberts and Adam Oviedo gave their thoughts after the game.
Coach, your team had an absolute roller coaster of a 7th inning in this one. Had the great offensive approach in the top half, let in a few in the bottom half, let them tie the game. What do you preach? What do you say to your guys after an inning like that and a finish to the game like that?
Well, what we talked about was, I'm really glad that, certainly we scored 5 runs in the 7th inning. Again, it's a lot of new people. You're trying to coordinate it. And when you look at it, I'm thankful that they play hard right now, and we'll still work on how do we become a better team as far as continuity is concerned. And the best player at each position. Today, I just tried to get a lot of guys playing time. And after the first week, I rarely look at the record because we play 44 games. Let's add it up when it's over. But, I think every year up here, if we were 4-2-1 at the end of the first week, I'd be thankful. I'd be happy. Yeah, because it's just a lot of new people and a lot of permanent guys, a lot of temporary guys. And, and we've already had 2 arm injuries, 2 pitching arm injuries already, both California guys, which I hate that very much, and Richardson and Troy. So, but we'll get better. And we have a lot of talent. What I'm going to keep harping into them, okay, we have a lot of talent, okay, but we got to be polished for that talent to come out. So I'm happy leaving here today, and we've had a good week, and now we're looking forward to 7 games in 6 days and see how we improve this week.
You talked about the new guys. You had Matt come in today. You obviously had Joe come in. You had Parker earlier this week. How have those guys acclimated? I mean, it was such a quick turnaround for Matt. He comes in late last night, and he's hitting third in game 2. So how have they acclimated to that change?
Well, I really don't ask them. I just think if you can play, you can play. If you're here, you're ready to, you go in the lineup and you play.
Yep.
And I don't think at this point, I think Sullivan is the only freshman that we have on the club. Yep. I think that's right. I may miss somebody, but I think Sullivan's the only freshman. All the other guys have been in college 2 or 3 years. They're mature enough to just crank it up and let's play.
Yep.
And that's what you have to do. I think good baseball players can play on Christmas Day after they've opened their presents, put their uniform on, let's go play.
So Adam here had a big 2-home-run game after having a couple of days off. I'm just wondering, is there anything you do in your time off to anything extra to try and get back in the swing of things?
I watch the game of baseball. Coach said the other day, you can learn a lot from watching the other guys play. And the past couple of days I've took off, I've watched, and I think I've gotten a little better. Just watching the game and just mentally settling down and just getting back to just playing baseball.
Great. Speaking of playing baseball, was there anything any of the guys told you about the starter or anything you saw in your at-bat or Dante's at-bat before you when he hit a home run that helped you?
Not the first at-bat, but the second at-bat, Cam Hill did give me a little scouting report on the guy. He did let me know that he would go first pitch fastball and he would go soft if he gets ahead, 2 strikes. And he did, and I'm not saying I hit those pitches, but, having that in mind, and it was kind of awesome to fall back to, so.
Great. Just one more question. Your team has shown an ability to come back time and time again. 3 out of your 4 wins have been comeback wins. Today, obviously not the result that you wanted, but a magical 5-run 7th inning. What do you think that says about this team?
I think it says a lot, obviously, that we can come back and win a ball game. I'm excited for what this season can do and what this team can do, so I'm just pumped and ready to get going. So.
Great.